Hello and welcome to the Unverified podcast. I'm your host Simba, aka Swizzy IV, and I'm joined by my wonderful, beautiful boys. Today we got Harry on the mic, aka Lord_Heck. How you doing, Harry?
Hello, I'm back. This is my second episode.
He is back, and we hope to see you much more, my boy Harry. And then of course we got Israel. You know who it is. Ayorumalade, back again. The usual suspect.
Yeah, back in for the episode 2 gang yet again.
Yep. And last but not least, we got the man. You know who it is. It's Simi, aka Tamago2474. How's it going, Simi?
All good. Excited about these topics we have lined up.
Very sick indeed. You know what would be really sick if we could communicate through telepathic brainwaves, through technology in our brains. Wouldn't that be sick, guys? Wouldn't that be tight?
Just wonderful.
You guys don't think I'm reading your minds already?
What am I thinking, Simi?
You're thinking, bruh, this dude better not say anything stupid right now.
Come on, man. That was the easiest one. You could have just said gamer, and that would have been a pretty solid one.
Shaking my head.
This is true. Listen, I haven't gotten the newest update though. You haven't got that Elon Musk update, bro? You seen that, bro? Even pigs got the Elon Musk update. Why are you slacking, man? You know when it says on the computer automatically update, I have that turned off, so I have to manually do it. I just forget, you know what I mean?
This man. All right. Let me fill the people in if they don't know what we're talking about. So our boy Elon Musk, maybe not my boy specifically or yours. He's just a boy. I'm like no association.
Unless you simp.
Our boy Elon Musk. Just thought I had to clear that up. He's been working on some technology titled Neuralink, and it's basically a chip in your brain. Right now at the moment, it can only detect brainwaves in real time, which is pretty sick actually for the technology. But Mr. Musk says in the future, he would like it to be able to treat everything from blindness to strokes to depression. What y'all think about that?
Sounds like an interesting development. Yeah,
it sounds too good.
Yes, it does. This sounds very good. But it sounds like every movie villain in every dystopian kind of fiction, in which they're trying to cure something good, where they're trying to tackle something really big, and it's going to help everyone, but ends up being bad.
Yeah,
it sounds like that.
Like there's always a catch.
Yeah.
Like the idea of this miracle thing you can put in your brain and it will solve all your problems. It's like, I mean, I'd be willing to see it, but yeah, it seems early development, let's say.
Would you be willing to try it? Would you guys be okay? How do you guys feel about someone putting a computer chip in your brain?
If they paid me, sure.
I would. Okay, see,
100,000 for messing with my brain and your Neuralink, maybe.
100,000, that'd be enough for you.
Maybe, I don't know.
That's like maybe a small house.
Yeah.
See, I'd wait off the 4 years, and specifically just 4 years, because I'm not gonna have a situation in which some evil dude takes control of it and then just starts hacking everyone's bodies or some shit like that.
Why is 4 years the safety? That seems really specific.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a long amount of time to pass.
I don't know about that, man. I feel like if you were going to do that, you'd pace it out a little bit slower than 4 years.
I meant 40.
Quite
I meant
hasty.
40.
40? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I meant 40.
Oh, you meant 40?
Yes. So a lot longer.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah,
Okay.
waiting 40 years.
I mean, they're directly... Right, it's a Neuralink. So they're directly connecting to your brain. It's like...
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of iffy, what if there's a bug could just make you see some really weird shit right off the bat.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not even that, man. For me, it's just a bit invasive. I barely fucks with technology right now. A bit. There's sometimes where I'm like, I'm gonna just put my phone on my desk and go for a walk. If it's in your brain, what?
You can never turn off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It
really
just sets a
fucked,
timer
actually.
for you.
Yeah.
There's no escape. Yeah, it's just, for me, I don't even really like to be that close to technology already, you know?
Especially think about what if you're just having a random thought that isn't, thoughts can be very fleeting. Fleeting. You could just have a very fleeting thought.
Oh,
and you could think, imagine, I don't know, you're just let's say we get to the point we get guns on our arms or something dumb like that. Yeah, we get to that point, and you just see some person walking the street, just bumps you over the street. And it's like, oh fuck off! I hope this person dies, and then your arm just starts bearing the person.
Imagine.
Jesus Christ. To be fair, before you even took it that far, I'm like, wait, if this thing can read my thoughts, I don't want the thing anywhere near me. I think some things that the world should not know sometimes, you know?
Legit, man.
Or even a bit tamer, but still worse. It starts giving you ads for purchasing guns.
Ooh.
Yeah, guns are the least of my problems, man. Like, there's stuff up there. I'm sure we all have it. There's things that we think about that we just will never, ever, would take it to the grave.
Yeah, like, thoughts just happen.
Yeah.
Thoughts just happen, man. And it's like, we already have this kind of suspicion, not even suspicion, pretty much confirmed that our phones listen to us, our freaking fridges at this point listen to us, right? And so it's like, if this thing is in your brain, it doesn't even have to listen. It's reading your thoughts at this point. So there are the targeted ads, and it's like, okay, fine. But then there's also like the freaking direct to FBI connection. Like you think the wrong thing for a split second, you ping up on the FBI database, like thought crimes will become a real tangible thing.
Yeah, well, because if you search something up, right, like you get like dinged. Yeah. Like I'm sure you start to like get flagged if you start to search up things consistently.
Yeah.
There's some things I think consistently that would put me in prison for a really long time.
Oh. Yeah. Care to divulge?
No.
Okay. Right. That's wise. See, that was a test. I'm being your lawyer in this case. You passed.
Yeah, okay.
Would you like to elaborate in this investigation?
Never. I would never ever like to elaborate. Let's move on, Harry. What were you going to say?
About what? I forgot. Move on. Carry on.
You see, Harry, with Neuralink, you wouldn't forget because it would patch up your memory.
Ah, wonderful.
Great.
There would be a lot of strong benefits to it. That's actually, so we're like kind of paranoid about the whole thing, as we should be. But like, what would the benefits be? So I guess there is the sort of like passive stuff where, okay, it'll detect if there are some wrong things happening with in your brain. It'll detect if there's an oncoming stroke. It'll detect if, there's an imbalance of certain chemicals. What sort of active stuff could you do with it? Like, oh, I want my brain to do this. So I guess one thing is memory, right? Like, you're not forgetting
like a hard drive attached, it can just save everything, right?
Legit.
Start to save a lot more stuff.
Yo, all your memories get saved to the cloud, my guy.
It's like,
I don't.
What is it?
That's
no. But think about it, because the storage capacity is gonna be limited. I mean, this thing can't be huge, right? It's gonna be a pretty tiny thing. If you're listen, when you're you will never lose an argument again when someone's like, remember 3 years ago when this thing happened and you said this? And it's like, nah, dude.
I do remember.
Nah, dude, that's not how it happened. You didn't say that. And it's like, no, I did say that. It's like, bro, I got it saved in the cloud. So you trying it right now.
Fuck, have you watched, that's literally a Black Mirror episode.
It is the entire history
and it's
of
actually fucked up. I'm about to spoil this Black Mirror episode, so if you haven't watched Black Mirror, head out now.
Yeah, the episode is called The Entire History of You, so if you want to watch that, go watch that.
Should I?
If you haven't watched it at this point, whatever.
I'm not bothered, it's chill.
Okay, there's an episode basically where they've like introduced this technology where they have this type of things like an implant in your brain, and it can basically capture all your memories and stuff, so you can look back and you control stuff with it. And basically, this guy is suspecting his wife of cheating on him. And he keeps suspecting, he keeps watching back this memory, and he sings and he's like, something doesn't add up. And he basically figures out that his wife was cheating on him and that his child's not even his own, and she slept with another dude and it's not his kid.
Wow.
And he notices this because of like watching back the memories. It's like super fucked up. But yeah, that wouldn't be sick. And he basically, there's a point where he gets her, he forces her to play back her memories from a certain time so he can see what happened. So yeah, that wouldn't be very sick.
One thing I didn't think about is like people could remotely access your Neuralink. If like this technology comes out, people are obviously gonna be able to like counter that technology. People might be able to like fuck with your memories and shit, and it's like,
that's true.
Yikes, that's scary.
That's true.
But
kind of bringing it back to the benefits, I guess like also it can help with like certain things, because I guess like if they have direct access to like your neurons and stuff like that, I imagine they could change like imbalances in your brain to help with like mental health issues. They could potentially help with like a ton of stuff, really. Like they could like straight up like cure shit like Alzheimer's and stuff.
Yeah,
if they alter
the
actually just straight up cure up cure that type of stuff.
Yeah, if they straight up just like alter the neurons and the nodes and like the electrical impulses in the brain, there's not going to be any neurological disorders ever.
No, they would fix them.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
It would be. One thing I do wonder, if they're doing all that stuff though, if they're like patching up your brain and doing stuff like that, are you still you at that point? Or are you more software?
I mean, using like the heart sleeve as a example, because like the heart pulse is weak, it aids in the neurological electronic charges. This is like, you can change yourself.
It depends what you define you as, realistically, because like
Very,
even because
very
if you
much so.
just define you as just like having personality, I mean, humans are malleable and have malleable personalities. Put them in any environment, they will change.
Yeah.
Really, I feel like it depends on the person and how much they seem so. Like if you, I feel it's like we're kind of getting into like transhumanism, but like if you just replace all your parts of cybernetics, in a sense, you are still yourself because you made the decision to make those decisions. So in a sense, that is still you.
Yeah, I guess as long as your consciousness is still there, like I guess that is what is you is your consciousness. Like not even really your brain. If your consciousness is in a different brain, that's still you, right?
Yeah.
So you're conscious.
Our consciousness is made up of like our memories that might have forgotten or like how we were raised. So if we edit those like base memories, like we could just become anyone.
Our memories alter our personality. Is that our consciousness though? Isn't that like a very complicated thing to kind of pin down?
Well, that's like the human sort of condition, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like I feel like it's hard to pin that down because like your memories are a part of you and your memories can alter your personality. And yeah, I'd agree that like if you change your memories, it changes a good part of you, but it's still you.
Still you, yeah.
It's just a different version of you.
That would be so interesting because, you know, like a lot of people, because I've just been thinking about it as you've been saying, like trauma kind of shapes a lot of people, right? If this Neuralink could actually just remove the trauma, or at least remove the effects of the trauma that a person might have had. Maybe they had an incredibly negative childhood or they had a life-changing experience, like they were in an accident of some kind, and then you sort of maybe either remove that memory or just alter the effects that memory had on the person. Then it's like, yo, you've changed this person, you know?
Yeah, they are a different person to some degree. They're like a different version of that person.
Yeah, they're still a different person, but they're still that person in a sense.
It's them. It's just like a different variation of. It's almost like an alternate reality. Them. It's them if that hadn't happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it's still them.
So really, this is just random fan fiction. This is alternate universe fan fiction.
But yeah, it is interesting. How far do you think this technology is going to go and how quickly do you think it'll get there?
You know, it goes as far as the funding goes. And since Mr. Musk is a billionaire, he's got a lot of money to invest. So I think it will go as far as it will go until something bad happens. And then I'll have to regulate it in a way.
Yeah, the FDA seems down with it right now.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Oh, that's wild.
So the FDA actually seems okay with it at the moment. So which is, like, they haven't approved it, but they seem to be positive towards it at the moment, because it's not like a thing, but like they seem positive towards it.
I don't know if I'll see it. I don't think I'm going to be young and see stuff like this happening, but I will be very excited to see the kids, if I don't become an embittered old man, seeing the kids walking around with their silver arms and freaking, I don't know, glowing eyeballs, doing all sorts of stuff I don't get.
Would you guys like chop off your arms to get a better arm?
Yeah. Like what you said about progress.
I don't really use my arms for anything else besides maybe guitar, probably. Yeah, maybe.
Or just like any part where it would just be like, oh, they've got faster legs. Holy shit! Yeah, take these. I don't need these anymore.
I don't know.
You know what? I actually don't know if I would. If it was commonplace, like I grew up and that was a thing people did, then yeah, obviously. But it's just like, nah, I'm good. I think if I lost the ability of my legs, then definitely. But I think it's just because I'm happy with what I've got. I feel like it's a very similar question to just getting cosmetics done. Like, oh, do you want a more conventionally attractive nose or whatever? It's like, I mean, I like the nose I have.
Well, like cosmetics is different because it's like it doesn't have any actual like functional change. Like, if you get new legs, like you can walk further, you can run further. You could be like, I'm not gonna. why would I take the bus? I can just run at like 100 miles per hour because I've changed all my body parts to make that feasible.
I feel like, so wait, so we're gonna have pedestrian regulations then? We're just gonna end up having pedestrian regulations.
Yeah, you can't fucking run 100 miles per hour on the side.
No, they'll have special side. It'll be like a bike lane. It'll be cybernetic lane,
like
innit?
Yeah, exactly cybernetic lanes. Oh man, yeah, there's gonna be some fucking cybernetic racism for sure.
Yeah,
that's
man.
gonna be a thing. It'll be sick.
Bro, there'll be Tokyo Drift, but cybernetics.
Fucking, that'd be so cool. Imagine you see a guy running and he fucking drifts and turns the corner.
Oh,
So
he's got
sick.
wheels for heels, so it'll be like,
Oh my god, fucking
Oh,
wheels.
yeah. Legit, you've got Heelys implanted.
yes, bro.
Oh,
Heelys
shit,
are immortal.
yeah.
I'm so happy.
Heelys are immortal. Holy shit, that'd be fucking amazing. You guys heard the latest? I say heard. We're like a month late on it, but you know, you guys heard of the latest debacle on OnlyFans?
At this point, I think everyone has. Yeah.
Okay,
on my Twitter
sick.
feed.
I
Yeah.
actually didn't.
Okay, well, let me get everyone up to speed real fast. So basically, a few weeks ago, Bella Thorne, ex-Disney star of Shake It Up,
Zendaya was bad.
was recently decided to join OnlyFans. And what happened is she started charging $200 for nude photos that weren't actually nude. And she amassed about $2 million within the span of a week.
Wasn't it 2 days?
It was within the week. I don't remember how many days specifically,
Okay.
but it was in a short space of time. Basically, she made $2 million on the platform. What
Wow.
happened is, after she did this, because obviously she told people they were nude photos and she didn't give them nude photos, this obviously caused some backlash, and then OnlyFans later then changed their limit to $100 per item. And I think before it was unlimited, so you could charge whatever for like a photo or a service or whatever. So they limited to $100 per item. And a lot of people who used OnlyFans for money were not very happy about that at all. Because obviously, if you are charging higher than that now, you either have to create some complex system to get people to pay the same price, or you just have to completely lower the price of everything, and you're making a lot less money. So a lot of people were not happy about that. Bella Thorne has now apologized, and she said she'll be contacting OnlyFans to try and deal with the situation. But that's what happened. So yeah, now you're up to date. How do you guys feel about this? This is kind of one of those cases again, isn't it? Like similar to what's been happening with YouTube. Where a bunch of small creators or just regular creators, internet creators, build up a platform over time, and then it gets big, and then celebrities and pre-established entities jump onto that. How do you guys feel about this happening again here in OnlyFans, I guess?
I feel like it's something that is just bound to happen on any platform. The underground people build something up, but when it goes mainstream, then the people who already are big elsewhere can swoop in. So that's just a thing that'll happen. What I do think is, though, it's way more beneficial to these larger celebrities because there is that kind of elusiveness to them where it's like, oh, wow, this person is a celebrity. I wonder what they look like naked. I feel like that is the whole appeal of OnlyFans. I don't know if people
For
are really
sure.
going on it just to see regular, unsuspecting people in the nude, right? It's like, okay, sure,
Yeah.
it's just anybody though. But when it's a celebrity, you do get that intrigue. There's a huge market for, I feel like a lot of entertainment is essentially just how many different ways can we repackage and sell sex. It's the same basic idea, but we just want to push this in people's faces and always keep them wondering, like, okay, we're going to have all these pageants and stuff. But a question that's behind a lot of people's mind is, I wonder what that person looks like naked, and if a person does do an OnlyFans, like I was surprised to hear that, how successful Bella Thorne's one turned out to be, 2 million in a week. That's nuts to me. But then I went and I saw how many followers she had on Instagram. It's like, I think it's around the 20 million follower mark.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't even know Bella Thorne was like that. I keep hearing her. And I'm like,
same.
how is
I
this
didn't-
woman still relevant?
I didn't
don't
know
understand.
either. I didn't know either.
Yeah.
But she
I
is,
don't
and so it's like,
understand. She
okay, I
just-
guess there's a lot of
yeah.
people who are intrigued enough to be like, yo, I would want to see.
When celebrities join a platform like OnlyFans, it's definitely to ask that question of like, what do they look like naked? Like, I think if any like celebrity joined, they'd all be like, even if like a male celebrity joined OnlyFans, they'd probably pop off because they're like, I'm low-key trying to find out though, you know?
Yeah,
yeah.
Like I think they'd still like do really well because they're like just they people want to know.
Yeah.
But I think generally speaking, OnlyFans caters to an audience that I guess regular like adult material doesn't necessarily, which is I guess I imagine for a lot more people it feels more personable.
Yeah.
There are a few creators who obviously like are maybe Twitch streamers or cosplayers, and it goes back to that want to see you naked. But like for most people, I think it's a personal element that people like, that it's something for them. They can request a thing, they can get specific photos, they can DM, and I think that's why the platform works. But yeah,
I think OnlyFans is great because it provides like an entry level to sex work, to like provide money for oneself. It's like anyone can, become popular on OnlyFans if you've, attractive.
It's also safe, especially when you compare it to like the actual porn industry, because like porn industry, as far as I've heard, can be kind of exploitative. And
definitely,
especially
so
to new
OnlyFans, obviously the person doing it owns the business. They're essentially running their own business here, and it's a lot safer and ethical, I guess.
As far as the creators, like Chris said, and being a sex worker, I would agree that OnlyFans is really good in that regard. That's where my praise stops for that platform.
For me, it actually always surprises me how willing people are to pay for this stuff. Like
no, that's not surprising.
Yeah, not surprising.
I'm genuinely surprised simply because of the sheer volume that is available online for free, and most of it is like piracy, and we understand that, right? But still, it's so like you're not gonna be hard done to find that kind of content if you want to see it. So the whole idea of paying $200, and it's like, I get it's this specific person you want to see, but
that's lightweight.
I think,
man, like it's.
Yeah.
I don't want to like be reductive here or whatever, but it's like, it's just a person. You can find another one that looks as attractive if that's your thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it is that personal connection though. Like, it's very one-to-one. There's no one else. You're not watching like a porn video which has like 50,000 views and 10,000 likes. It's like it seems a lot more honest and like human.
See, but that for me, right? That's the thing I dislike about OnlyFans.
Oh, really?
Is I feel like OnlyFans is not necessarily selling you adult material. It's selling its market is. And I'm about to make a very statement. I don't speak for all of the Unverified. I think OnlyFans is really for like lonely people. I think OnlyFans. That's a wild statement. Take me to court for it. But I think it's for people who, I think it sells the idea of a relationship. It just sells the idea of being close to someone, because you're not just getting like, you can get, the reason why people pay $200 is because it's yours. They're sending this is your picture and it's just for you. It's not for anybody else. Like when you just watch like another porn star, it's just like a person, just some random person, but you're almost building a connection with these people. And you're paying for that. And people will pay a lot of money for that because, loneliness is a struggle. It's hard, and it kind of helps fill that hole for a lot of people. And that's kind of what I don't like about it. I feel like it's a very band-aid kind of thing, and that's what I feel the platform runs off of. That's a personal take, and I don't speak for anybody else, but that's kind of the problem I have with the platform and the way it works. But I have that problem with a lot of other platforms as well. So
I think that's more of a symptom of the issues that's going on in the world, and less of a cause of it. That's what I see.
I don't think it's causing the loneliness. I agree. It is, but it runs off of that, right? It's come into a world that's already got that just hard set in, and it's just ready to run. And I think it works off of that. Just like we call it, we laugh and we call them simps and thirsty dudes, but it's just like guys who are just struggling out in the real world, and they're like, well, I do make money and I have disposable income, so I could solve that problem, I guess, in a kind of, I'd say, easier way, I guess. It's like a band-aid solution.
Yeah.
But again, that's kind of how I see it. And that's kind of the problem I have with things like that. But I think a lot of things prey on that in a sense. That's just
it's like good and bad in that aspect, like the band-aid solution, It provides to people who don't have that connection with other people and who are lonely. But also it's not like it's like a patch over, paint over, It's not actually providing.
It doesn't get to the root of the problem.
No, it doesn't solve the problem. But I think it is good to have an interim just so people don't completely fly off the deep end. I think it's good for that, but I think it's like if it was leading towards helping them in some way, but like it shouldn't be there. Like it's not the job of the creators to do that, but like obviously it's like it's not that's not what they're out to do. They're obviously, they have their job to do, and it's not their job to work on giving other people psychological support and shit like that. But obviously, if like the people could be getting help too, that'd be pretty sick. But yeah,
it always actually surprises me how people just be having disposable income like this. Like I'm always surprised. I'm like, wait a minute. So you actually like can afford to spend, I don't know, like, because when I mentioned 200, you said that was even a lightweight amount. But you know, for me, the idea of spending $200 on a picture, it's like, whoa, dude, that $200 that can feed you for like, oh no, bro, that can, if you spend your money well, that can feed you for like a month and a half. You know what I mean? Like
that's like a consumer perspective, right?
Definitely. So I guess it is just like buying any other product. And I suppose I am a bit more frugal in that sense, but it just, I'm always surprised. I'm like, and for me, it then comes back to the thing, which is that you could get it for free. I do believe in supporting sex workers, right? I do believe that paying for what you watch is the best way to support the industry that you indulge in. But then there's also the aspect you mentioned of it is about that more personal connection. So the whole thing, like whenever I think about it, I'm like, it's great that this is happening, but if people, and there are people who like think like me, it's like this industry wouldn't be able to run off of people like me or whatever. So it's like, okay, there is a kind of person that keeps this economy afloat.
It's like Simba said, it's interesting. Well, you both said it. It's interesting to see how much people spend on these things. Some people spend a whole bunch of money, but it's also, you know, it can provide a life for someone who had to work part-time for anything before.
And one thing I found actually, because I was on Twitter, I think about 2 days ago, and I saw someone that was like, you know, bought a house. And it was a tweet in the sort of terms of who says OnlyFans isn't a real job or whatever, so showing that she bought a house through the income she made.
That became a meme. Genuinely,
oh, for real?
Yeah. I mean, there was an actual post that did do that, but then everyone started memeing it later. Like that tweet, everyone started copy. It became like a copy pasta.
So yeah, like I looked in the replies of this tweet, right, and I saw a bunch of people like, hey, give me a follow on my OnlyFans. Like a bunch of people. Like imagine people doing sub for sub on YouTube, or just asking for followers on a YouTuber celebrating a million subs or whatever. That was happening, and I'm like, not only do you have this kind of like thing where okay, people are making lots of money on OnlyFans, you have a lot of people not making money on OnlyFans. They're aspiring OnlyFansers. And for me, I'd never thought of it like that. I'd always thought of OnlyFans as
up a new
people. I've always thought of OnlyFans as people who have a following elsewhere go to OnlyFans to make more money from their audience. But now I'm like, no, there are people who are starting on OnlyFans, and that is so interesting to me because I'm like, how could that work? Like I'm like, how can a person have no other social media profile and build themselves up on OnlyFans? I don't think it's possible.
The one place where I actually see it, and I think it works more successfully, is Reddit. There's like tons and tons of subreddits for like independent adult material where it's just people. And I think a lot of times what it'll be like, there'll be lots of subreddits where it's just like pictures of like that naked women post up like of themselves and stuff. And then that way they'll be like, oh, you want some more pictures? Here's my OnlyFans, whatever. Because obviously you open the comments, dudes are thirsting and they're like, yo, I need to see more. And then obviously they link themselves. And then if they have like an account on Reddit, they'll have like a history of stuff they're posting, or they'll make themselves a subreddit. I imagine that's a good way that people go there. I don't know how you do it other than that. I didn't know OnlyFans doesn't have a front page. I thought it did, but I guess I was wrong.
But yeah, it's just interesting, like people building themselves up on this platform. Like because I was looking at these replies and I'm like, yo, you need to, I'm already thinking social media strategy. I'm like, you need to build up your Instagram, your Twitter. Like really, you might need to start a YouTube channel. I'm telling you right now, you need a TikTok.
I just remembered Instagram as I just forgotten about Instagram. I just remembered Instagram. Jesus. Like, keep in mind, it's very easy for me to find like OnlyFans adjacent stuff, or just through Instagram, just based on the fact that I like a lot of anime and cosplay. And so I'm gonna find that a lot very easily. Like, it's just, I guess it kind of depends on what you like, especially because like women on Instagram are extremely popular, and you'll probably find some depending on what you like.
That's also interesting that you brought up this sort of like anime cosplay community. Would you say that it's like with that community, it's far more likely that if you were to go on a random cosplayer's page, they would likely have some form of OnlyFans or like 18 plus Patreon or something of the sort.
I think
Patreon,
so,
yeah. A Patreon, yes.
I would agree.
Probably. It really depends on the cosplay or on all the kinds of cosplay they do, because obviously there are some cosplayers who do kind of more spicy stuff, like where it's a bit more lewd rather than actual just straight up cosplay. So, you know, no, not hating, just saying that is a thing that does happen.
Yeah. I see a lot of like OnlyFans people on Instagram. I'm not sure about Twitter because, you know, Twitter's just full of animals and stuff for me. Instagram,
people.
You know, I see a lot of like people promoting their OnlyFans on Instagram. Like cosplayers, I find do it a fair amount. But I've also found like a few independent people who have started OnlyFans and are now promoting through Instagram.
I've seen that
like,
too.
They take requests. They do customized stuff for people who ask on Instagram. It's just it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see how OnlyFans as like a market develops, because before this whole Bella Thorne thing, it was like a free market. There were no regulations on it. Well, very few regulations, I assume. Like no regulations. People could see what they wanted. They could charge what they wanted, and it was just like free flowing. But now that like, you know, fraud has come up, which is essentially what Bella Thorne did. They're having to dial back.
Yeah. That leads me to an interesting question that I was wondering is, obviously now with the Bella Thorne thing, now there's the maximum tipping of $100.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel? And OnlyFans actually released a statement saying that they had been working on this feature beforehand to safeguard users and creators and protect them. What do you guys think of limiting how much people can spend on a platform like OnlyFans?
It's like the whole free market thing, you know. There needs to be rules and laws in place to like protect the consumers. But you know, limiting the amount of money that people can spend puts a cap on how much profit one person can get from one consumer. You know, like if it's 100, if the cap is 100, people might not want to spend that. So they like want to spend less, and it'll be harder for smaller, less known people to like get an audience and to provide for themselves. So it's like a double-edged sword, you know?
Personally, I understand why OnlyFans do that, because they don't want to get into a situation in which someone overspends a lot and it cripples them, bankrupts them basically, and then they go to sue OnlyFans and are like, yeah, you know, we're not gonna take the losses here or something like that. I think the issue, especially some OnlyFans creators had with this, is that because they can't like charge they can't charge as high, because obviously what ends up happening is obviously if they charge the max, basically OnlyFans takes a tax, so they'll get less money, which is why some creators might charge more for something. I think they also reduced how frequently the payouts are. So so I think so I think payouts were like either every week or 2 weeks, but now it's like every month or something. Like I can't remember.
Once a week, I think.
Oh, that's a big deal.
That's actually
that'll change a lot, I guess. Yeah.
I think about the whole idea of limiting to $100, and from a perspective of looking after the people spending money on your platform, I totally understand. But then the part of me which is like, yeah, but if someone's willing to pay $1,000 for this thing, if someone's willing to pay for it, why stop them?
I think
like I totally get protecting them, but then there is just that part of like, bruh, like.
Well, to me, at least for me, it comes back to the thing where I think there's a lot of vulnerability here, where like you can be preying on people's kind of psychological state.
Yeah,
because there's things like findom where people are into being financially dominated.
Oh, I did not know you were going to bring that up.
And as a creator, you can really make money off of somebody who's into findom because they just want you to empty their bank accounts. That's not good for them because they're like, I'm not paying rent this month, but I feel sexually satisfied. And especially with something such as like innate to human beings like sex, like you can really, really manipulate and you can really prey on people's vulnerabilities, even if you're not trying to do that.
Yeah,
you can. And I think people who are using a site like this are especially vulnerable to that. I think an alternative to potentially capping how much everyone can spend is maybe if they start to limit the user, like say a user can only spend a certain amount a month. Just something I think just to make sure people aren't overdoing it. Kind of like in a casino where like if a person spends much money or whatever, like there's certain regulations and safeguards, and I know that's not perfect, but yeah, it's just something. I hope everyone on OnlyFans is doing well, creators as well. I hope it all balances out in the end. And again, I said I have my problems with the platform, but overall, I hope that the people who are making money from it are doing okay, and hopefully everybody can just be better off in the long term. You know, there's a lot of problems, not OnlyFans' fault, but it just happens to be making money off of it. You know, I benefit from a bunch of shit that I rather shouldn't, but it's not in my control. But so that's just my piece on that, just to kind of clear that up. I don't hate anything. I support sex work. Do your thing. Make your bag. Get the Skrilla. Get the guap. But you know,
get the cheddar, the cheese.
Get the cheddar and the cheese. But don't worry, we will not be scamming you of your money or your time, because this podcast is coming to a swift conclusion. I hope that you've enjoyed listening to this, the 14th episode of the podcast. Isn't that crazy? 14 episodes of this bad boy. That's insane. That's crazy.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Maybe when you get to 25, which will be like that'll be a year's of episodes. 26, I think 26. We'll do a crazy like 7-person episode just so you can see what hell that would be. Just everybody.
Have fun editing that
should be
Simba.
fun.
I'm not looking forward to that already.
Yeah, so 7 people. We'll just 7-person episode, an hour long, and we'll keep it barely edited as well. So you have to just so you can see what the podcast, could and might have in a past date looked like.
That's just like normal Discord.
That is just normal Discord, and it's a nightmare. But Harry, do you have anything to say before you disappear?
I'm happy to be back.
Hell yeah, we're happy to have you back, man. It was nice having your input here.
Yeah,
I liked it. Nice balancing of opinions. I think you're a nice, healthy voice that balances out the asshole that is me, so it's good to have you around.
Yes. I hope everyone...
Israel, do you have anything to say, Israel, to the people?
I am probably one of the few people who doesn't find loneliness as a bad thing. Just be healthy with it.
Simi, what do you have to say?
All right, so I'm thinking, the Neuralink OnlyFans update, right? So you don't even really have to. You just imagine people nude now.
Damn.
And you still pay for it.
Oof.
What?
You still pay for it
You can
somehow.
do that for free right now. Simi, I can do that already for free.
Well, I'm thinking of how to exploit people for their money, Simba. Come on,
Wow.
get with it, bro.
You're right. Yeah, I agree. We're down. I'm down.
The good old face of capitalism.
And to close up this podcast, what do I have to say? Just stay safe. Be careful with what you do. Don't overdo anything, really. I hope everyone's doing well. If you're an OnlyFans user, I hope this hasn't affected you too deeply, and I hope you're doing okay and coming back from it. If not, my deepest condolences and apologies. But what happens, and that is life, and we carry on. I hope you're having a good time. I hope everyone who's had their everyone's like second week of school or whatever. I hope you're having a good time. I'm sure this is a complicated time to be alive and be going to school. I could not imagine be going to school in this climate. So best of luck, and I hope that's all working out well. And until the next time, I hope we can bring you some more rays of sunshine. And if you want to keep up with us outside of the podcast, in between the 2-week interims that you hear us talking about lovely topics, you can go check out the Twitch channel over at twitch.com/Unverified Show.
The TV, actually.
Every Friday. Twitch.tv, thank you. I'm an old man. /Unverified Show. We stream every Friday at 7 p.m. All sorts of things. Who even knows anymore? And then you can watch us play video games and do all sorts of other stuff on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Unverified. And you can come join the Discord and say hi. We're cool. We're not mean. We talk sometimes. We're here, So join, say what's up. And until the next time, hope you have a great day, or evening, or afternoon, whatever. See you later.
Game
Peace.
over.
Bye.